So now we are on the last type of the structural isomerism. It is tautomerism, or it is also known as keto-enol tautomerism. Very, very interesting. And I will try my level best to make it as simple as I can. Okay. So still, if you will be having any kind of problem, you can watch the video repeatedly, or you can also ask me in the live class. Okay, so let us move into it. It is very simple, very interesting. Just grab notes, and I'm just sharing my screen with you. Okay, so it is tautomerism or keto-enol tautomerism. Sixth type of structural isomerism, tautomerism or keto-enol tautomerism. All right. Now, this is also sometimes known as a special type of functional isomerism. Special type of functional isomerism. All right. Now, let us move into the definition. When the same compound simultaneously exhibits the properties of two different functional groups which are in dynamic equilibrium with each other. The phenomena is called tautomerism. And the two forms are called tautomers. So I will be going a bit slow in this video so that you can absorb the concept deeply. Okay, so it is keto-enol tautomerism. Keto means ketonic group. Enol, I will be telling you why we call it as enol. Okay, now let us move into an example. If we consider propanone, so this is a ketone and it is having a keto group. Okay, now it shows keto group and enol form. So if I draw it like this, it is which will be in dynamic equilibrium with each other. The keto form and enol form, they are in dynamic equilibrium with each other. This means they keep on interconverting from one form to the other form. Okay, now let us draw the enolic form or the enol form for this propanone. CH2 double bond COH CH3. Now this is the enol form. Enol comes from it has two parts, ene plus ol. Ene is coming from the double bond and ol is coming from the alcoholic group. Okay, so in the same molecule we have carbon-carbon double bond, and the carbon which is involved in carbon-carbon double bond is also carrying alcoholic group. So this is the enol form. Okay, now why does propanone shows keto-enol tautomerism? Okay, so I'm now clearing my screen and let us move into the reason for why it is showing keto-enol tautomerism. The first point here, very important to be noted, is aldehydes and ketones which have alpha hydrogen. Aldehydes and ketones which have alpha hydrogen will show ketoenol tautomerism. Note it down. Aldehydes and ketones having alpha hydrogen will show ketoenol tautomerism. Okay. Now, what is alpha hydrogen? So this is the functional group carbon. I think we have done it in hyperconjugation. What is alpha carbon? Alpha carbon is the carbon which is just next to the functional group. Okay, so this is alpha carbon, and the hydrogens attached to the alpha carbon are the alpha hydrogens. So this is a ketone with the alpha hydrogen. Now, alpha hydrogens in aldehydes and ketones are acidic in nature. Acidic in nature and can be released in the form of H positive. Can be released in the form of H positive. Now, why they are acidic? The next question is why they are acidic. So let us now learn why they are acidic. So I'm opening up this group. Now, suppose this H positive is leaving. Now, this carbon from which H positive is leaving, it is going to get a negative charge. Okay, now we have already studied that a carbanion is formed if it is stable. So suppose you are giving something to other person, you will be giving only if after giving that substance to the other person, you are stable. Okay, so this will be releasing H positive only if it is stable after releasing H positive. So now we need to see how this carbanion is stable. So if you see this negative charge on carbon and this carbon oxygen double bond, they are in conjugation with each other. There is one bond distance. So they can show resonance. So it is CH2 double bond C O negative CH3. Okay. Now the H positive which was released, it can be gained by this negative oxygen. It can be gained by this negative oxygen. So it will lead to the formation of enol form. So this is the reason why aldehydes and ketones having alpha hydrogen, this is a must condition that they need to have alpha hydrogen, they will show ketoenol tautomerism, because when they release the alpha hydrogen, the resultant carbanion formed is resonance stabilized and it carries a negative charge on oxygen atom. And this negative oxygen atom, it can gain that H positive which was released from the alpha position. I think this much should be clear to you. So now from this we can say that these two forms, this is the keto form, this is the enol form. They keep on converting from one another. Keto form gets converted into enol form gets converted into keto form, and there will be a dynamic equilibrium between the two forms. So this is what we call as keto-enol tautomerism. So now the question for you is, you need to tell about the following molecules that I'm writing here, whether they will show ketoenol tautomerism or not. CH3 C double bond OH. Now, in case of aldehydes also, we will be calling it as ketoenol tautomerism only. It is not aldoenol or something. It is ketoenol tautomerism only, although they are having aldehyde group. The name will be going to be the same in case of aldehydes also. So this is one molecule. You need to tell whether this is going to show ketoenol tautomerism or not. The second is, then the third one, Okay, like that, you can consider molecules yourself and keep looking for if they can show keto-enol tautomerism or they cannot show keto-enol tautomerism. Hope this is clear to you. So keto-enol tautomerism, it is very, very important. It is a rearrangement which occurs during reactions also. Okay, and in the chapter aldehydes and ketones, which is in 12th standard, again it is going to appear and it will be used in aldol condensation. Not exactly the keto-enol tautomerism, but why the alpha hydrogen is acidic in nature, how you can explain the acidic nature of alpha hydrogen of aldehydes and ketones. Hope this much is clear to you. And in the next section, now we will be discussing stereoisomerism. So be prepared with the structural isomerism and then move to the stereoisomerism. That is also going to be very, very interesting. And I will see you in the next section now.